Dear student, today under the subject of business environment, topic we are going to learn is international economic groupings. In this topic, we will learn about the type of international grouping, the nature of international grouping, the kind of international economic groupings we have, and some examples where we will try to understand objectives and the process of this grouping. If you look at the different type of regional groups, then as an example, the name came in our mind are NATO, OPEC, European Union, SAARC, ASEAN, G8, G20, etc. Of course, there are many other regional groups, but if we look at this example, then we find the NATO as a military base to form a group, where OPEC is a group of oil producing and exporting countries, where the common thing is a trading of oil and fuel product. European Union is a far more developed group, where the politics, society, family values and economy all have been considered to form a regional platform. So, we can see that the different regions and the different natures of the regional groups exist in the world. On the broader prospect, if we classify the regional groups, then we find that the 4 different nature of regional groups. These natures are political, military, economical or combined, where the political intention could be to make a common platform where they can negotiate with other countries better level, and they can make their global point with a strength. The military basis regional platforms are where they make a common army and the common defense services to face the security problem. Of course, as a student of economics, our interest is in economic nature of regional group. If you look at the economic group, then the significance of the regional economic group is explained by Jacob Weiner in the Custom Union issue 1950. He said, multilateral trading system, global free trade is the most efficient model because of the optimum allocation of resources. Here Mr. Weiner made it very clear that due to the free trade and multilateral trading system, countries get the optimum allocation of resources and the benefit economically. In economics, the different countries have different purposes, and on the basis of that, they can make a different kind of economic cooperation. If we subdivide the economic regional group, then we find the following 7 different types of regional economic cooperations. These types are as follows: economic union, custom union, free trade area, sectoral integration, preferential trading, long term trading agreement and common market. Here the name itself defines the different kind of regional economic platform, where economic union might be having a common policy platform. On the economic front, it could be fiscal policy or a monetary policy or export policy, where the custom union will be having the countries giving the freedom on the import duties or on the export duties to the respective union member. The free trade area is advanced form of the custom union, where the ports will be open for the respective countries and there will not be any tariff barrier. Same is followed with the sectoral integration, where some particular sectors will be integrated for the trading part, or the preferential trading, where the preference would be given for the respective commodity and the respective country. Long term trade agreement, where India and Japan decided for the export of iron ore from India to the Japan on a certain rate and for the time period of 5 years. This kind of long term trade agreement gives a stability to the businessmen and to the government as well. There are many regional groups which have been formed on the basis of economics. Some of the popular known are ASEAN, OPEC, G8, SAARC, LAFTA, NAFTA and European Union. We will discuss LAFTA, SAARC, European Union and ASEAN in our session today. LAFTA, it stands for the Latin American Free Trade Area. LAFTA was conceived in the Treaty of Montevideo in 1960, where the Latin American countries felt that there is a sharp reduction in the global share of the international trade. To increase the share, they decided for a cooperation among the Latin American countries, because they had the common strength and they felt they were competing with each other with the different countries for the price or for the quality of product, and which eventually ensuring the loss of their own market share in the international trade. To overcome that problem, in 1960, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Mexico, Peru, Uruguay and Paraguay came together and they formed a common union which was known as a LAFTA. Later on, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela and Cuba also joined LAFTA. Cuba was the last entry for the LAFTA. This LAFTA was formed with the objective of to eliminate all duties and restrictions on the majority of trade in 12 years, and the methodology decided for this objective was as follows. First, regional tariff preferences granted to products originating in the member countries, regional scope agreement among member countries, partial scope agreement between two or more countries of the area. That means, they will give the weightage or the preference for the LAFTA members, and it could be for the entire association or for the two members individually getting into the agreement for the respective commodity. But even after 40 years of the Montevideo Treaty, LAFTA has not been able to achieve the desired objective. There have been several reasons behind it, but the major limitations of the LAFTA were as follows. First, it refers only to goods, not to services. Second, it does not include a coordination of policies. And third, it has limited political and economic integration. It means these Latin American countries were focused on the commodity trade only. They were not focused on the services, and their objective was limited only to form a free trade area. But other factors which affect the free trade area like employment, the monetary policy, the social structure of the country, employment in the country were not taken into consideration, and due to which every country came up with their own reasons not to allow reduction of tariff or a free trade area, which eventually hamper the growth of the LAFTA objective. The next example we are going to study is SAARC. SAARC stands for South Asian Association for the Regional Coordination, where Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka are key members. This association was proposed by Bangladesh President Ziaur Rahman in 1977. Ziaur Rahman was convinced that all the South Asian countries should make a platform where they can make their voice louder in the global arena, and for which he proposed entity called SAARC. On his proposal, the SAARC came into existence, and Afghanistan in 2005 was the latest entry in the SAARC. If we look at the objective of the SAARC, then the objectives are as follows: to promote the socio-economic welfare and cultural development of the people in the region, to achieve the goal of collective self-reliance, to encourage active collaboration in the economic, social, technical and scientific field among the grouping nations, to strengthen overall cooperation and harmonious economic and political relation among the nation of the SAARC, to facilitate optimum utilization of human and material resources, to develop free regional trade among SAARC countries, and to stimulate investment flows and accelerate pace of economic development. The last objective is to contribute to mutual trust, understanding, appreciation of one another's problem. Here, in the broader point, we can understand with these objectives, SAARC countries wanted to have a common process where they can solve the problem like energy, water, terrorism, security on a common platform with a mutual conscience. They can develop a free trade area, and benefit could be mutual for the bigger countries or smaller countries. If we look at the SAARC performance in inter-regional merchandise export in 2005, then we see Europe has got 73.2% of regions export to their own countries, North America is on 55.8, but SAARC was limited only onto the 6.2%. It shows that SAARC countries has not been able to achieve for what they formed their association. There might have been several reasons for it. The major cause we can see in this graph is that country share of SAARC in 2005, where India as the only country contributes to 79% of the entire share of SAARC GDP. Where one country leads so dominantly, then the mutual cooperation gets challenged. Here, India being a leader of the SAARC, is India's moral responsibility to show and demonstrate the positivity towards other countries and create a mutual cooperation between other nations. India has got benefit like India and Sri Lanka, when got into the bilateral free trade agreement, both the countries got benefit out of it. Recently, Pakistan has declared India to be in its most favored nation list. This kind of improvements are giving you hope that SAARC nation can come together and make their voice louder. Even the shrimp and turtle case, where India, Pakistan, Bangladesh came together with Thailand and Vietnam, they filed the case against United States. Even in Doha round, where India, Pakistan, Bangladesh along with China, Thailand and Vietnam created a strong position and a major change in Doha declaration. It shows that SAARC has a significant improvement among the economic parameter or on economic front, but still looking at the potential of the SAARC countries, there is a lot to be achieved, and this is a moral responsibility of the SAARC country heads. We look at the another union, then the European Union, which is considered as the most successful economic grouping in the globe. European Union can be defined in a simpler manner as EU is a family of democratic European countries committed to working together for peace and prosperity. If we look at the simplest word, we can see the togetherness of European Union, which we do not find in the case of LAFTA and SAARC. They are using the word called family, and they are associated with each other as a peace and prosperity. It is not the only economic objective they are carrying, but the peace, and peace covers all the parameters like Human Development Index, employment, social stability, counterterrorism, security in the country. So, European Union is far advanced economic group than any other regional economic group so far we have in our human history. European Union is the most successful economic group across the globe. Post World War, European countries felt that due to the monetary policy failure and the currency failure, they were forced to face the world war. To avoid such kind of situation, they decided to make a common platform for the trade and monetary policies, which actually started the 1951 the Treaty of Paris. In the 1951 the Treaty of Paris, 6 countries came together to form a European coal and steel community. These countries were Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, France and Italy. It was a beginning for the European Union. Further, in 1957, the Treaty of Rome, 2 more establishments came into the existence, which were European Economic Community and European Atomic Energy Community. Many more countries from the European Union or Europe came together to form a common platform for the policies. European Economic Community become more powerful, the more nations joined them. They will start making policies which were common for the entire Europe or the member of that European Economic Community. Treaty of Maastricht 1991, they formed or they derived 3 major decisions. The decision were a monetary union, the decision of having a common currency in Eurozone and a common foreign and security policy. So, here they decided to make a platform which was not only in the economic by nature, but for the security and the foreign policies were also taken into the consideration. We can see here the countries voluntarily decided to withdraw their sovereignty as and when required for the policies. In current scenario, if we look at the European Union, then we see from the 6 countries it has grown up to the 27 countries, and it has 490 million population, which is almost 7% of the world population, but it has 30% of the global GDP and 55% of combined worldwide development assistance is given by European Union. It shows that European Union become not only a very successful entity in economic nature, but also with a development perspective. Due to European Union, these countries have a common currency. The citizens does not require a passport or visa to move to the European Union countries. They can travel across the country, they can do the business activity, they can buy the things, and almost all the things, if we consider the certain list which are blocked, then almost all the commodities they can buy on the same price. Due to the same currency, the interest rate is almost flat and the inflation is very close to 2%. So, these are the key achievement of European Union. European Union has 3 major branches which can be divided into the, by nature they can be divided into political, legal and financial. In the political system, they have European Union Parliament, European Union Council and European Union Commission. The Parliament has a member elected from all the countries, and the members are for the 5 years. The member do not represent their country's policy in the European Union, but they represent the 7 different political wings in the European Union, or there could be the member of European Union which are not attached with any political philosophy. This European Union, with the Council passes the European Union laws and adopts the budget. It has the authority to approve European Union commissioners also. The second political entity in the European Union is the Commission, where the 27 commissioners are appointed, which represent the European perspective, and each responsible for a specific area. So, all the 27 members are selected from the one individual member of the European Union, and they are responsible for one particular area. One could be responsible for the monetary policy or a security or environmental issue. This commission is European Union's executive branch. It proposes legislation, manage union's day-to-day business and budget, and enforce rules, and it negotiates trade agreements and manage Europe's multilateral development cooperation. The third most important political entity in European Union is European Union Council, where it is a main decision making body. It is comprised of ministers of 27 member states representing member states' point of view. Unlike parliament, here the member can represent the country's point of view. In the parliament, the members representing the political philosophy or a common perspective for the European Union, but in council the members represent their country's standpoint. They decide on foreign policy issues, and council presidency rotates among member states every 6 months. The financial bodies in the European Union are: first is European Central Bank. European Central Bank's main task is to maintain the euro's purchasing power and thus price stability in the euro area. The second important task them is to set short term interest rate for the eurozone area. European Central Bank operates independently from member state governments. So, the state governments of the European countries have no role to decide the monetary policy or the interest rate, which is sole responsibility of the ECB. European Investment Bank is owned by member states. It raises finance through financial markets, and it invests in the projects to promote aims of European Union, which are normally large scale projects. This investment bank works separately than the central bank, and the core objective for the investment bank is for the development of the European Union or eurozone countries. It also assists in the development activities across the globe. Europe has been, or we should say rather, European Union has been highest contributor for the global warming and the reduction of the environmental issues, and they contributed higher than any other nation or the organization due to European Investment Bank. Another body is Court of Auditors, which monitors legality and efficiency of European income and expenditure. The legal body in European Union is Court of Justice. It has one judge from every European Union state. It ensures all EU laws are interpreted and applied correctly and uniformly. It can act as an independent policy maker, but unlike the US Supreme Court, European Court of Justice can only deal with matters covered by the treaties. All other matters which are not covered under the treaties cannot be taken care by the Court of Justice. Initially, when the Court of Justice came into existence, their area was limited towards the trade and economic policies. Later on, they start taking care of human issues like employment, job guarantee, environmental issues, etc., which has made a bigger platform for the Court of Justice. Euro, which is a common currency for the European Union countries has been the key achievement for the European Union. It came into the existence in 1999 when the euro area was established as a currency in 11 of the then 15 European Union member states. Of the 27 European Union members today, 15 have adopted the euro, and it is very soon the remaining countries might adopt the euro as their key currency. One of the striking benefits of a single European currency are low interest rate due to a high degree of price stability, and the euro is as stable and credible as the best performing currencies previously used in the Europe area countries. So, due to the same currencies, the consumers and the companies are getting benefit, and the trade is flourishing on the European Union. The European Union is involved in many activities. As I told you in the beginning, that apart from economic activities, that there are several other activities which are related with the peace and prosperity. European Union is involved. Some of the activities are agriculture, fisheries, environment, region, food safety, consumer protection, public health and energy. These are the areas where the European Union makes a common policy for the member countries and implement and execute them. Thus, European Union becomes the most successful model of regional economic group. If we look at the European Union share in the US import, then it comes as a second most important partner for the US in import, and if we look at the export, then again it comes as a second most important partner for the United States in export part. The last regional group we are going to discuss in our session today is ASEAN, which stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. It has members of Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar and Cambodia. All the Southeast Asian nations created the ASEAN. The two key objectives for forming the ASEAN was to achieve economic stability through economic cooperation among the members and to make efforts for regional peace and stability. Let us summarize what we have learned so far in our session today. We discussed about the concept of grouping, the type of grouping and type of economic groupings. Then as example we discussed about LAFTA, its key objective and the limitation by which it has not been able to achieve its objective so far. We discussed in detail about the SAARC, its objective and the member countries. We discussed about European Union, its key achievement and historical part of the formation of European Union, its share in the global trade, and we discussed about ASEAN. Thank you.